Welcome back. In this step, we are going to create a EC2 instance resource, and then at each step of the Terraform command, what is happening, we are going to observe in a step-by-step manner. So before doing that, we also need to create the EC2 instance related Terraform configuration, right? So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code, and we are in 0401 resource syntax and then behavior. So we have two files here, c1 versions.tf and then c2 ec2 instance.tf. So c1 is configuration 1, which is versions.tf, so which we learned in our previous sections from providers and then all those things. So from Terraform basics you have learned, and then from Terraform fundamental blocks, so the Terraform block and the provider block, so you have learned these things. Okay, so we are not going to rewrite this one more time using the live template writing. So I took the same c1 versions.tf from the previous sections and then put it here. Okay, so which is nothing but we are using the required provider as AWS, and the region we are going to use is US East 1, and the profile is default profile. My credential profile I'm going to use is default profile. So let me close this c1 versions.tf, and then we'll focus on c2 ec2 instance.tf. So to create a ec2 instance, the equivalent documentation reference, you can find it here. So I just opened it here and then put it. So from here you can find all the attribute references, and then you can understand in detail and then use it. So all argument references and then attribute references. So we are going to create a basic EC2 instances, so we really don't need to worry about that level. Okay, so if you want, you can even always go back here and then reference all the argument references for that respective resource, which is EC2 instance. So I'll say resource, and my resource is AWS underscore instance, right? And this is nothing but the resource type. And the next thing is resource local name. Okay, so I'm going to say my ec2 -vm. So you can even write hyphen or underscore, whatever is your choice. Okay, here, so my ec2 vm, and the argument references. So if you go here in the argument references, AMI is the required argument. Okay, so first things first is AMI. So how you are going to get the AMI for this EC2 instance in US East 1 region? So we have said that our region is going to be US East 1. Okay, so which is North Virginia. So I'll go here and go to my AWS instances and launch the EC2 instance, and this is my latest Amazon Linux 2 instance AMI ID. So I'll take this and then put it here. So AMI is one of the required attribute. Okay, in the same way, instance type is also going to be another required attribute. Okay, so now I'm going to say my instance type as T2 micro. Okay, and next thing is this should create our EC2 instance, but I also want to add tags. Okay, so I'll say tags, and I'll say the name as web. Okay, so this is my instance name. And next thing is, so in which availability zone I want to create to test my last resource behavior, which is if you see this behavior, right, destroy and recreate. I'll also add availability zone now, and then later I'll change it to different one. So to test that behavior, whatever we are discussed about the resource behavior. Okay, so I'll go here and then I'll say availability zone, and I'll say US East 1A. Okay, so now we are going to create a resource of type EC2 instance whose local name is my -ec2 -vm, and whose AMI ID we brought it from our respective location. So this one is in Mumbai location, so I need to change it to North Virginia and then get the right value. Okay, so sorry for that, so give me a second. And this is the one from North Virginia, which is US East 1 location. Okay, so let me go here and then paste it. Okay, and instance type we said is T2.micro, and availability zone is US East 1A, and the tags is name is equal to web. So this looks good now. So let's go ahead and then execute the commands. Okay, so let's go back to our documentation here and start with Terraform Init. So command line clear, and we are going inside 04 Terraform resources and 0401 resource syntax and behavior, and in Terraform manifest folder, so let's say Terraform Init, right? So it is initializing and it is trying to match the 3.0.0 which is tilde greater than 3.0. so it downloaded the HashiCorp AWS v3.29.0, whatever latest available as on today. So what happened during this process? Okay, so during this process, so it successfully downloaded the providers in .terraform folder, and it also created a log file named .terraform.log.hcl. so let's see both the things. Okay, so in .terraform folder you have the providers. Inside providers, in registry terraform.io, in HashiCorp, inside that you have the AWS provider. Okay, 3.29.0. so let's come out of this and also see the log file. Okay, so cat.terraform log.hcl. so like this also you can see, or you can see the log file from here also, right? So it is saying that the provider is registry.terraform.io/hashicorp/aws. so whatever you have defined here. Okay, so registry name here means like registry URL is optional when we are using Terraform registry by default. Okay, and next thing is it also have the version constraints, whatever you have defined, tilde greater than 3.0. so whatever latest available in 3.x, okay, which is rightmost 0, whatever you have provided. So whatever is available in this 3.29.0 is available, so it downloaded that, and its equivalent hashes also it downloaded. Okay, so for all the future references. So this is what happened whenever you run the Terraform Init. So next move on to Terraform Validate. Okay, so now we are running the Terraform Validate. The configurations whatever provided here. Okay, so the two configurations, c1 versions.tf and c2 ec2 instance.tf. so both whatever you have provided is working, is valid from Terraform perspective. There are no issues. Okay, so which means we should be good. So no files changed or added in current working directory. Everything looks good. Okay, now format Terraform configuration files. So using Terraform Fmt. Okay, so you can even search for Terraform Fmt and understand more about this command. So the Terraform Fmt command is used to rewrite Terraform configurations file to a canonical format and style. This command applies to a subset of Terraform's language style conventions along with other minor adjustments for readability. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then execute the Terraform Fmt. Okay, so it changed the output. If you see c1 versions.tf, it touched it, and then c2 ec2 instance also it touched it. One more time if you execute, nothing will come. So but whenever it changes, those file names will be outputted. So what it has done is it has slightly formatted the files as per the Terraform standards. Okay, so Terraform language standards. Okay, so slightly the spaces or whatever it is, it tried to format so that the output came for your two files here. So that's what happened for Terraform format. And next thing is Terraform Plan. So let's execute the plan and then see what happens. Okay, so I'll say Terraform Plan. Okay, so it will print the plan what it is going to do in our cloud provider. Okay, so now let's see the observation in a detail. So nothing happens during the first run from Terraform state perspective. So from resource behavior perspective, you can see plus create, we are creating. Okay, so from state perspective, nothing happens when you run the Terraform plan. But if you see here, you can see plus create. Okay, so you are creating a resource whose name is aws_instance.myec2 VM will be created. So if you remember, we discussed about the unique local name reference inside the Terraform configurations. Okay, so which is nothing but aws_instance.myec2 VM. So when we are discussing the theory part or the presentation part we discussed this. Okay, so if you want to reference this resource anywhere in Terraform configurations, so you need to say AWS instance dot my ec2 VM. Okay, in the same way only it is showing here. Okay, so here also you will see AWS underscore instance dot my ec2 VM will be created. Okay, so that's what it is telling us. So resource is this one, and then it is creating plus create. Okay, so if you see here also we are going to create a resource that that exists in the configuration but are not associated with any real infrastructure object in the state. Okay, so with that said, so you are going to create a resource now. So let's go ahead and then create the resource. So the next thing here is Terraform Apply, and you can give Terraform Apply or you can give Terraform Apply auto approve. So I'll say Terraform Apply, and then I'll provide the confirmation yes once it pops up for me. Okay, or if you want to avoid that, so if you want to avoid this confirmation, so you can give -auto -approve. So I said that Terraform Apply, and then it is creating the resource for me. So in addition to creating a resource, it also creates a Terraform state file. So let it create first, and then we'll see what happens in a detailed manner. So we can see our resource got created. So let's go back to AWS and see whether our EC2 instance got created, right? So if you see, our EC2 instance got created with whose tag name is web. Okay, so and then it is running. So that's good. So now the next thing is additional observation about the state. Okay, so if you see here, there is one more file when you run the Terraform Apply, right? So it created a file called terraform.tf state. Okay, so what is there inside that file on a very high level, we'll see now. So it is nothing but the Terraform's underlying database for the reference of your respective resource, whatever it has created on the cloud provider. So if you see here, it has all informations. Okay, so Terraform version, and then also there are now outputs defined. Now from resources perspective, you can see it has created a type AWS instance. So resource type dot name is my ec2 VM, and provider it used is AWS, and the instance metadata. Okay, so entire instance metadata it is storing here completely for reference. So why Terraform needs this state and all those things, we'll see in our upcoming lecture. But here we have clearly understood on a step-by-step basis what happened when you run Terraform Init, Terraform Validate, Terraform Fmt, Terraform Plan, and then Terraform Apply. Okay, so in our next lecture we are going to understand Terraform state file in a detailed manner and move on to the next steps. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.